This warning is real. At the edge of a forest in Japan stands a sign that simply says, "Take care of yourself." It doesn't warn about wild animals. It doesn't warn about dangerous weather. So why is it there? Beneath Mount Fuji lies Aokigahara Forest, a place surrounded by mystery, tragedy, and countless legends. Some visitors say the silence feels unnatural. Others claim they heard whispers when nobody else was there. Many people believe the forest is haunted. Others say there are perfectly natural explanations for everything reported. So, what is the truth? Today we're exploring the history of Aokigahara, the stories that made it famous, the experiences people have shared over the years, and what experts say about this mysterious place. By the end of this video, you can decide for yourself whether Aokigahara is truly haunted, or whether fear changes the way people experience the forest. The warning sign at the entrance isn't the strangest thing about Aokigahara. The real mystery begins beneath your feet. Imagine standing in a place where every tree, every stone, every step you take exists because of a disaster that happened more than 1,000 years ago. Long before this forest covered the landscape, there was only fire. In the year 864 AD, Mount Fuji erupted with incredible force. For weeks, rivers of molten lava poured down its slopes, consuming everything in their path. Ancient forests vanished beneath glowing rock. Fields were buried. The familiar landscape disappeared forever. When the eruption finally ended, what remained looked like another world. A vast expanse of black volcanic stone stretched beneath the shadow of Mount Fuji. No birds, no trees, no signs of life. It was a place that seemed impossible for nature to reclaim. But nature had other plans. Years passed. Rains slowly cooled the hardened lava. Tiny patches of moss appeared inside narrow cracks. Then came grasses, small shrubs, young trees. Century after century, those roots forced their way across the volcanic rock, slowly transforming a lifeless wasteland into one of Japan's most extraordinary forests. Aokigahara wasn't planted, it was reborn. A forest created by destruction itself. And even today, the volcano still shapes everything you see. Unlike most forests, Aokigahara doesn't grow on deep layers of soil. Much of the ground beneath the trees is still ancient lava. Look closely as you walk, and you'll notice enormous roots twisting across the surface like giant veins. The rock below is so hard that many trees cannot grow their roots deep into the earth. Instead, they spread across the lava, searching for moisture wherever they can find it. It gives the forest an appearance unlike almost anywhere else on Earth. Beautiful, yet strangely unsettling. But the hardened lava hides another secret. Beneath these trees lies a network of ancient lava caves. They formed when rivers of molten rock cooled on the outside while liquid lava continued flowing beneath the surface. When that lava finally drained away, it left behind enormous underground tunnels. Some remain naturally cold throughout much of the year. One even preserves sheets of ice during summer. Imagine walking through a warm green forest, then stepping into a cave where frozen walls still survive. It's a reminder that beneath this peaceful landscape, the scars of a volcanic catastrophe still remain. Yet for most visitors, the volcano isn't what they remember. It's the silence. As you move deeper beneath the trees, the outside world slowly disappears. The wind becomes faint, traffic vanishes. Even birds seem strangely distant. The dense canopy absorbs sound, creating an atmosphere unlike almost any other forest. It's not complete silence. It's something far more unsettling. You begin hearing things you normally ignore. Your own footsteps, your breathing, the sound of leaves brushing against your clothes. Every small noise suddenly feels amplified. And when the human mind is surrounded by unfamiliar silence, it begins searching for answers. Was that a branch breaking? Or simply a falling twig? Did something move between the trees? Or was it only your imagination? Perhaps that's why so many visitors describe this forest as unsettling, not because of what they see, but because of what they think they might have seen. But the silence isn't the only thing that changes inside Aokigahara. Imagine leaving the marked trail for just a moment, maybe to photograph an unusual tree, maybe to examine one of the ancient lava formations. You turn around, expecting to walk back, but the trail is gone, not blocked, not hidden, gone. Every direction looks the same. The towering trees form an endless wall of green. The volcanic terrain offers almost no landmarks. You tell yourself you've only walked a few meters. Finding your way back should be easy. Yet with every step, the forest becomes more unfamiliar. And that's exactly what countless visitors have described over the years. So, what is it about this place that makes even experienced hikers question their own sense of direction? Is it simply the volcanic landscape, the endless canopy, the overwhelming silence? Or is there another reason this forest earned one of the most haunting nicknames in the world? The Sea of Trees. Imagine this, you're standing at the edge of Aokigahara. Behind you, the outside world still exists. Cars, people, voices. Just a few steps ahead, there's only silence. You take one step forward, then another. Within minutes, the sounds of civilization begin to disappear. The wind grows weaker, the trees grow taller. Even the sunlight seems hesitant to follow you. From above, Aokigahara is breathtaking, an endless blanket of green stretching beneath Mount Fuji, a sea of trees, so vast that the horizon simply disappears beneath its canopy, beautiful from the sky. But beneath those trees, it's an entirely different world. The deeper you walk, the more the forest begins to close around you. Towering trunks block your view. Twisted roots cover the volcanic ground like giant veins. Every direction looks the same. You stop for a moment, certain you've come this way before. But have you? You turn left. Nothing looks familiar. You turn right. The forest looks exactly the same. You look behind you. Even the path you entered from seems different. It's a strange feeling. Not panic. Not yet. Just the unsettling realization that your surroundings are becoming impossible to recognize. Your mind begins searching for something familiar, a unique tree, a large rock, anything. But Aokigahara offers almost nothing to guide you, only endless trees, stretching in every direction. That's why experienced hikers rarely leave the marked trails, not because they're afraid of ghosts, but because they understand how easy it is to lose your bearings here. And once uncertainty creeps into your mind, every sound feels different. A twig snaps somewhere behind you. You stop walking. The forest is silent again. Was it an animal, a falling branch, or did your imagination just turn an ordinary sound into something far more frightening? Psychologists say that's exactly what isolation can do. When familiar sounds disappear, the brain begins searching for danger. Every shadow seems darker, every movement seems closer. Fear doesn't always come from what we see. Sometimes it comes from what we expect to see. Over the years, another mystery added to the forest's reputation. Visitors began noticing brightly colored ribbons tied around trees. Some stretch only a few meters, others disappear deep into the darkness. Most were placed there by hikers, marking their route back to safety. One ribbon, then another, then another. A simple lifeline through an endless maze. But imagine finding one of those ribbons, far from any trail. You follow it, expecting it to lead back to civilization. Instead, it disappears deeper into the forest. Would you keep following it, or would you turn back? Questions like these are part of what makes Aokigahara so unsettling. The forest doesn't chase you, it doesn't threaten you, it simply allows your own imagination to do the work. And perhaps that's far more terrifying. But if the forest itself isn't responsible for its dark reputation, then where did those stories begin? Why have generations of people associated this beautiful place with restless spirits, forgotten souls, and legends whispered across Japan for centuries? To answer that, we have to go back hundreds of years to a time when people believed some forests were places where the living and the dead could walk side by side. For centuries, long before Aokigahara became known around the world, people in Japan told stories about forests like this, places where the boundary between the living and the dead was believed to be thinner than anywhere else. According to Japanese folklore, restless spirits, known as eerie, were said to wander places filled with sorrow, loneliness, or unfinished lives. Whether these stories were meant as warnings or simply reflected ancient beliefs, no one can say for certain. But over generations, Aokigahara became woven into those legends. As the stories spread, the forest's reputation grew darker. Books were written, films were made, internet forums filled with frightening accounts. Soon, people weren't just visiting a forest, they were entering a place they had already been taught to fear. And fear has a remarkable way of changing what we experience. Some visitors describe an overwhelming feeling that someone is watching them. Others report hearing footsteps, only to discover no one is there. A few say they caught movement between the trees, but when they looked again, there was nothing. No photographs, no evidence, only stories. Could every one of these experiences have a perfectly ordinary explanation? Perhaps, in a place where silence dominates, the smallest sound becomes impossible to ignore. A falling branch, a bird taking flight, leaves brushing together. The human brain is designed to recognize patterns, especially when it senses danger. Sometimes, it finds patterns that don't actually exist. Yet one detail appears again and again in countless personal accounts. Visitors often describe the same feeling. Not terror, not panic, but the strange sensation that they are no longer alone. Whether that feeling comes from isolation, suggestion, or something science has yet to understand, remains unanswered. And perhaps that's exactly why Aokigahara continues to fascinate people around the world, because the forest never gives you an answer, only another question. But if the legends cannot be proven, and the experiences remain deeply personal, what is the real truth behind Aokigahara?